So if you need help, I'm going to demonstrate how to diagram number 1. If you want to try it on your own, then just simply come back to the video, fast forward to the end, and see if your answer matches up with mine. So I'm going to be working off of my period 3 sentences, which read, Josh put on his camouflage face paint and hid in the bushes because he was planning an ambush on the neighborhood trick-or-treat participants. Well, the first thing I want to do is I want to find that adverb clause. And so I know an adverb clause usually either starts the sentence, is in the middle of the sentence, or it ends the sentence. Well, Josh is not going to start the adverb clause because he's not a subordinating conjunction. But I do know the word because is a subordinating conjunction. So I'm going to read from because and see if I can figure out where this thing ends. It might end somewhere in the middle. It might go all the way to the end. So this one reads, because he was planning an ambush on the neighborhood trick-or-treat participants. All right, so that's my adverb clause. Kind of makes sense all the way to the end. And so it's an adverb clause at the very end of the sentence. Has the subordinating conjunction because, has a subject and verb, he was planning, describes the verbs, tells us why he was putting on camouflage face paint, why he was hiding in the bushes. And lastly, if I wanted to, I could flip-flop the whole sentence around and it would still make sense. These are all clues that I'm dealing with an adverb clause. So let's build the first main sentence, our main clause, which is about Josh doing 2 things. So I'm going to give myself room for Josh, but I'm also going to make sure I have room above and below because I have 2 verbs, and I can see that. I can see Josh put on. I'm going to treat put on as one big verb. I treat it like an idiom. It's like saying applied. He applied face paint, which has an illegal hyphen in there because we don't use hyphens anymore, but sure, why not? We'll be retro today. We'll say it's his face paint, and I'm going to write his camouflage face paint. I'm just going to write the word camo. I think we'll get the point. Here's room for our conjunction, which is going to be and. And then here is our second verb, which is hid. But he didn't hid what, he hid where. So there's no direct object, but there's certainly a prep phrase, in bushes. And we would say it's the bushes. And if we were labeling this, we would realize this top guy is a pattern 7 and this bottom guy is a pattern 6. That's our main clause. Now let's build our adverb clause. Go with this pine green color. Once again, I'm going to wait because my subordinated conjunction is going to be sitting on the dotted line. It's going to be just like the word and is a conjunction. The word because is going to be a conjunction joining these 2 sentences together, these 2 clauses. So when I get over here, I realize I have a subject, a verb, and I have a direct object. So I have he. My verb is was planning as one big verb. It's not a gerund because it has a to be verb as a helper, was planning, and was planning ambush. So I need to go a little further. We'd say it's an ambush. It's an ambush on the participants. This is going to get a little crowded over here, I'm afraid. Let's see if I can make this work, everybody. Here's participants. And I would say it's the participants, neighborhood participants, and it's the trick-or-treat participants. I'm just going to write T-O-T. I think that'll do the job. This is my adverb clause, and now I'm going to connect them. I always connect verb to verb. So when I go from was planning over to the verb, I have 2 verbs. Well, sometimes you might only relate to one verb, but sometimes you might relate to both. Is he putting on the face paint because he was planning an ambush? Yes. Is he hiding in the bushes because he was planning an ambush? Yes. So in this case, it actually equals both. So I think a logical place would be to connect it to this nub, because there is a location that actually equals both verbs. And now I can now add in the word because as my subordinating conjunction to show why was he planning? Why was he putting on and why was he hiding in the bushes? Because he was planning an ambush. And that's how we build an adverb clause.